I'm Jacob from the Sustainably Yours Homestead, where we're striving to live a little bit more sustainably each and every day, and we're inviting you to learn along with us. So if you haven't already, smash that subscribe button down there in the bottom right-hand corner of this video, and then stay tuned for a Saturday Shed Wars update. Welcome back to the garden. I'm jealous watching everybody else posting all of their harvest videos where they're getting all kinds of stuff. And here I am, 2 or 3 weeks late probably. But it looks like things are finally gonna start popping here pretty soon. Oh, let's start, the strawberries. The strawberries have surprised me. I noticed some flowers the other day, and then we actually have a couple of strawberries here and there that are producing. I was afraid that these things weren't even gonna make it, but we're actually getting a few strawberries off of them. I have some tomato plants here, all of these plants in pots, and then I don't know what I'll do with these. I don't know if I have room for them, but all of these came off of suckers from my plants in the Minecraft garden. So these are just free plants. And then I have my row of mystery tomatoes. They're not doing a whole lot. This one is putting on a few flowers. But I'm kind of anxious to find out what these are. I'm ready for them to make something. Got the few red noodle beans that survived over here, the ones that I planted a little bit too early. I thought I saw where they were trying to make a couple of flowers. I don't, that might just be a spot where it's going to branch out again. Or they may be flowers, I don't know. We'll find out. They need to hurry it along though. My okra is still a little short, but it's getting there. I think we're going to have plenty of time to get plenty of harvest off of it. This is something else that I planted too early and it all died out, and then I had to go back and replant. I think I'd learn. I do that every year with my okra. I'm also having some bunny rabbit problems. It's got to be what it is. A couple of days ago, these plants here on the end, and you can see where the leaf is gone, but these plants were just about completely bare. There's one. And I see a bunny rabbit hopping around out here all the time. I'm gonna have to do some rabbit hunting come this winter. Cucumbers. We're getting lots of flowers on the cucumbers. I've got them packed in there pretty close. I saw one of Arkansas Woodcutter's videos the other day where he was talking about spacing your plants properly. Man, I'm horrible about that. I'm always like, okay, I can just squeeze them together a little more. Ooh, look what I just found. This will be our first cucumber of the year. I'm gonna give it another day or two. I think it can still grow a little. That's exciting. Sweet. Our corn is getting on up there a little bit. Here's another thing. Like, when I planted the corn, I planted 2 seeds in each spot just in case one didn't come up, and I was supposed to, and I planned on coming back in and thinning those things out, but when I went to do it, I was like, oh, it'll be all right. I'll just let them grow side by side. So I don't know, that might come back and bite me in the butt. But we have our corn, we have our squash. We're still mostly getting male flowers on the squash plants. I do have this one little baby squash right here that I've been keeping an eye on. Hopefully it'll make it. And then our garden beans, our green beans, part of the three sisters here. We're starting to get some flowers. Look right there on top of that flower. The little baby grasshopper there. Man, we have been plagued with those things this year. They are everywhere. There's another little baby grasshopper. And another little baby grasshopper. Well, that one moved. Oh, but there's another one that we can get on camera. Oh, wait, check this out. Yes. Way to go. It's kind of retreated down into here. But we have an assassin bug taking out one of my grasshopper pests. I don't know if I can get it. I'm probably gonna spend way too much time on this. I'll lose a bunch of viewers, but I find this stuff fascinating. I love watching nature do her thing. And that's one of my favorite parts about having a garden, I think. Not only watching nature do its thing, but actually participating. Trying to help the process out. I get a lot of satisfaction out of that. Enjoy your meal there, buddy. Thank you for your help. Chalk one up for the good guys. One of my kale plants, yeah, look at the, I bet you I've got caterpillars all over these things. Yep, there's one. Cabbage worms. But this kale is past its prime already. We tried some the other day and it was pretty bitter. And then this one has bolted. We have a few flowers popping up here. I'm gonna keep an eye on them and see if they go to seed. Maybe we'll collect some seeds from it. Speaking of, those radishes that I planted at the beginning, the ones where I just tossed the seeds in and never came back and thinned them out, I just let them grow. And lo and behold, those things went to seed also. I've never seen how radishes develop, but they shot up these big flower stalks with some white flowers on them, and then they make these little seed pods. Hey, kitty kitty. So I think I'm actually, these are beginning to brown, so I think I'm actually gonna collect these, and we'll take them in, let them dry some more. I think I'm going to. Oh, where'd it go? There it is. Oh. Ah, that was a close one, huh? Hold on, let me grab the rest of these. So I'm gonna take these in and let them dry a little bit and see if we can grow a few more from the seeds that I collected. That's something that I want to try to learn how to do, is collect my own seed from the garden and use it again the following year, and maybe even begin to develop better lines. Use the seed from the strongest plants or the most productive plants or whatever. See if we can't breed some of those qualities into the future. Oh, and right in here, I had some peppers left over that they were lagging behind a lot because they've been in their original planting pots since the beginning. But I just went ahead and tossed them out here. We'll see what happens. I'm not expecting great things from them. I threw a few of my sweet potato slips in the ground here. And right off the bat, that darn rabbit. These things were, I think this one had a couple of leaves left on it when the rabbit got finished. These two were just little stems. Gotta get rid of that rabbit. Here are a few of the other pepper plants that I just kind of had neglected, so they're way behind, but I potted them up. I think these, I don't know if they'll have time to do a lot this summer, but they're gonna make the trip back indoors when the winter time comes. I'm gonna grow them in my little greenhouse. I've got a couple of Ozark giant bell peppers. I've got a couple of paprika peppers. I've got a couple of, I think I have 3 Carolina Reapers. So these are more oriented for the fall and winter indoor gardening. All right, let's make a little trip over to the Minecraft garden. I've been doing a little bit of work out here. I have the framework for another Minecraft garden ready to go. I just need to fill in some of the holes and then build up the hugel mound inside. We'll be ready to roll there. Underneath my trellises and around this first bed, I've put down a whole bunch of leaf mulch and a little bit of pine straw mulch. And it's really helped suppress the grass. I have a couple of spots where it's still trying to poke through, but that will be easy enough to take care of. Here are my second planting of noodle beans. Man, the grasshoppers. Look at all the holes in these leaves from the grasshoppers. And I don't want to use any poisons. I've sprayed them with neem oil. And it helps a little bit, but not enough. If you have any suggestions on something, I guess organic, or something close to organic that I could use to deter these little tiny grasshoppers, please let me know down in the comments. The edible snake gourds have taken off. They've made it, one of them's made it about halfway around the entire trellis. And they are still going strong, still growing. We're beginning to put off some flowers. Now, I don't know a lot about these. I've never grown them before. I don't know if they put on male and female flowers or what, but most of the flowers that I've seen, actually all the flowers that I've seen so far, have been growing on these long stalks. And then at the end, you have the flower. They make a pretty white bloom that lasts for a few days. And this was the first flower that I noticed, so I don't know. Hopefully it's been pollinated. Hopefully, again, I don't know if they produce male and female flowers, or if each one of these has the potential of forming a snake gourd. But I like that, another baby grasshopper. So here's what happens to the flower after it has done its time. My pepper plants, man, these are the best looking pepper plants. I think they're the best looking pepper plants that I've ever grown. I never get plants that grow this tall and bush out this much. At least not this early in the season. Except for the jalapeno peppers. I've been able to grow jalapeno peppers. That's about it. But, okay, these are the paprika peppers. We're getting lots and lots of blooms on those. That makes me excited. This is, if I had to pick one thing in the garden that I really want to go off, it would be these paprika peppers, because I really want to try and make some smoked paprika. Here are the Numex Sun Glow peppers. And we already have some peppers coming on here. There's one, there's another. This is just on one plant so far. These will turn kind of a reddish orange color when they're ripe. And I don't know what they taste like. I don't know how spicy they are, but that's something we're gonna have to find out. Ooh, look at you. Hey. Get you on. Oh, there you are. Hello, little harvestmen. Little granddaddy longlegs. The most venomous spider in the world. Nah, no it's not. These little dudes don't even possess venom glands. Leave them alone. They'll do your garden some good. My two surviving eggplant plants? How do you say that? Are they, did you just say my two eggplants, or are they eggplant plants? Huh. Help me out on that. And we have a little pollinator, a bumblebee. I didn't know that these eggplant eggplants put on such beautiful flowers. Those are really, really cool looking. In fact, that might make a good cover image for this video right there. The other plant I've been watching, this was right here, was the first flower that my eggplants put on. You can see it is a flower no longer. Beginning to get the bulge right there at the ovary. So I think that is going to be our first eggplant produced by our eggplant plants. Stay tuned and find out. I've left my radishes in here. I could harvest those, but I think they're doing a better service hanging out here because those little baby grasshoppers, look at this, they're everywhere, everywhere. But those little baby grasshoppers seem to love these radish leaves. So I think they're making a pretty good decoy. They're keeping the grasshoppers away from some of my other stuff. So I'm gonna keep them in the garden. My other pepper plants here, these are bell peppers and, let's see, Ozark giant bell peppers and jalapeno peppers. One or the other, I don't know which is which, I'd have to check my notes. But they don't appear to be doing quite as well as the paprika and the sunglows. Making our way to the tomatoes. These are Lincoln tomatoes. And I'm beginning to get, I don't know if my leaves are supposed to do this or not. They're staying green. They're not turning yellow. They're not falling off. But they're beginning to curl a little bit. I don't know if that is okay or if I've got something going on with the plant. But they're growing like crazy. They're flowering out like crazy. And I have a couple of tomatoes beginning to form. So I don't know, maybe I'm just getting paranoid about them. I've staked them using my bamboo. Got a shoot of bamboo at each plant. And then I've kind of lashed cross braces at a couple of different levels. That way we can bring these little side shoots out and tie them in. We have our Swiss chard. Y'all, I am extremely disappointed about the Swiss chard. Not because of the plant, it has grown like gangbusters. I mean, we've had some huge leaves and it just grows and grows and continues to grow. It handles the heat wonderfully well. It's just that no one else in my family besides me seems to like the stuff. So I don't know, I'll have to make a decision next year. Is it worth growing it again? Or maybe grow a little bit, use my garden space for something a little different. Or maybe I'm just not preparing it correctly. If you have any good recipes that use Swiss chard, drop them down in the comments. I would love to find a good excuse to grow this stuff again next year because I have enjoyed it. It's, like I said, it's grown really well. It's a beautiful plant. Very hardy. Give me a reason, y'all. Give me a reason. I guess that brings us to the loofah gourds. I don't know if they're doing well or not. They're growing. I've never grown them before. They seem, I expected a much larger vine. Something more like those snake gourds over there. I figured these loofah gourds are going to be fairly heavy. So I expected a little heftier infrastructure, but I don't know, maybe they're not. Maybe they're not supposed to be. Again, it's something I've never grown before, so I don't know enough about it to know if they're doing well or not. These bottom leaves, those grasshoppers again. But as the leaves begin to climb, I notice the grasshopper damage kind of goes away. And our final stop, I'm a little embarrassed to bring you out here. Our much neglected area around the apple tree where I do have some potatoes in the ground. I have some sweet corn on that back side there. And amidst all of this grass, I have a whole bunch of onions. I think the course of action on these onions, I'm just gonna leave them here over winter, and then I'll come out and I'll just mow all this down and cover it with mulch for the fall. And then I'll uncover it sometime early spring and see if my onions pop back up. Yeah. Except for the red onions, I actually got out and weeded this a couple of times throughout the season, so they had a fighting chance to survive. I may actually come out and harvest these. It'll need to be in the next couple of days, I guess. Sweet corn, it's not very tall. Just over knee height, maybe. If it doesn't do anything, then no harm done. I just kind of tossed it out here because I had the seeds and I had the space. So we'll see what happens. It looks like the potatoes are about ready to be harvested. The leaves are just beginning to yellow. I did pull one plant up, and I mean, they're little bitty dudes, but it gave me a handful of little potatoes, which is really cool because I've never grown potatoes before and I had no idea what they did. So this, even though, I mean, they're tiny and probably not good for much, it was pretty exciting to me. So I think I'm gonna let these leaves die back a little bit more, give the potatoes an opportunity to maybe get a little bit bigger, and then we may go ahead and come out and harvest these things. And since every ounce counts in the Shed Wars, we're gonna go ahead and throw these on a scale. And it looks like we've got about 2.95 ounces of potatoes to add to our total. So thank you for watching this Saturday Shed Wars edition of the Sustainably Yours Homestead. Hopefully you've enjoyed the little garden tour. If so, give us that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already. And if you would be interested in following along as we continue to try and turn our home into a homestead, then be sure to ring the notification bell so you'll know when to be back for more daily, sustainable living.